How's it, grade 11? So we're going to continue from where we left off from yesterday. Negative angles and reduction. We're working from slides 71 to 76 from the PowerPoint trigonometry. So example 3a, they're asking us to simplify each of the following. So we have 2 cos minus 180 degrees minus x sine minus x over sine x minus 180 cos x minus 360. Okay, so as you guys saw from yesterday, minus 180 minus x is in the second quadrant. Now here's a new one, minus x. Now minus x is in the fourth quadrant, okay? Because remember, it's an acute angle, and then negative angles work clockwise. So that would be in the fourth quadrant. Here we have x minus 180, so that would be in the third quadrant. And here we have x minus 360. So this one I want you to think about. If you have an angle in the first quadrant, which is x, and you subtract 360 from it, you're coming back to the same point. So that's still in the first quadrant. Okay, so let's reduce these. I just want to write our cast diagram over here so you can see if it's positive or negative. So we've got 2 cos in the second is negative. So negative cos x times by sine in the fourth is negative, so that's negative sine x over sine in the third is negative, so this would be negative sine x times cos in the first is positive, so that's just cos x. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look at my signs. So at the top we have a positive times a negative is a negative times another negative is a positive. So in the numerator we have a positive, and then at the denominator we have a negative times a positive is a negative. So the whole thing would be a negative because we have a positive divided by negative. So the whole thing is negative. Now, this sign will cancel with that sign, that cos will cancel with that cos, and you're just left with 2, or negative 2. Okay, looking at question B, just want to see if I'll be able to fit it on here. It looks like I will. So question B, we have sine 180 plus x cos minus x over tan minus x minus sine x minus 360 sine x minus 180. Okay, apologies for squeezing it in at the end there. Right, let's list which quadrants we have. 180 plus is in the third, minus x is in the fourth, minus x in the fourth, x minus 360 is in the first, and then x minus 180 is in the third. Okay, sine in the third is negative, so this would be negative sine x. Cos in the fourth is positive, so this would be cos x over tan in the fourth is negative, so this would be negative tan x minus sine in the first is positive, so that will be sine x, and then sine in the third is negative, so that would be minus sine x. Okay, so let's see what we've got here now. Now, here we have a negative times a positive. So we have a negative at the top. And then the bottom is a negative. So negative divided by negative is a positive. So I know this whole thing is going to be a positive. Also, grade 11s, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this down. So we have sine x cos x divided by. Now, tan is sine over cos. So it's divided by sine x over cos x. Just go back to 2 videos ago and you will see with the identities. Here we have a negative times a positive times a negative gives us a positive, and that's sine squared. Okay, I tip and times this. Sine x cos x times cos x over sine x plus sine squared x. This sign will cancel with that sign, and cos times cos is cos squared x plus sine squared x. This is another identity. Cos squared x plus sine squared x is 1. And there's your final answer. Okay, going on to the last example. Question C. So we've got 2 tan minus 7 over 2 sine minus theta sine 300 all over cos minus 240 tan 1098 and sine 180 plus theta. Okay, so this one I'm going to have to add a 360 to it just to get it positive angle. That's in the 4th quadrant. That we can reduce just now. We can reduce just now, and this is in the 3rd quadrant. Okay, so tan. Now, you remember what we do with negative angles? I'm going to add 360 to it until I get my first positive angle that is between 0 and 360. So add 360, add another 360, and we're getting 18. So tan 18. Okay. Sine in the 4th. Sine in the 4th is negative, so this would be negative sine theta. This 300 is in the 4th quadrant. So sine in the 4th is negative. And then how do we reduce that? We say 360 minus that, and we get 60 degrees. Over. I'm going to add 360 to that, so we get minus 240, add 360, and we get cos 120. This one I'm going to subtract 360 from it until I get my first angle that is between 0 and 360. So 1098 minus 360. Do it again. And do it again. So we get 18. So tan 18 degrees times by sine in the 3rd is negative. So this will be negative sine theta. Okay, so let's reduce this guy here, and then we can look at cancelling and stuff like that. So we've got 2 tan 18 minus sine theta minus sine 60 over. Now 120 is in the 2nd quadrant. Cos in the 2nd is negative, so that's negative cos. And to reduce that, we say 180 minus that. and we get 60. Then we've got the tan 18, and then we've got the minus sine theta. Okay, so this tan 18 will cancel with that tan 18. This minus sine theta will cancel with that minus sine theta. And we've got special angles here. We've got those two there, which I'm going to sort out now. First of all, let's look at the signs. So we've got a positive times a negative is going to give us a negative over a negative, and those have been cancelled. So the whole thing is a positive. So I can ignore my signs now. So at the top, we've got 2. Now sine of 60, if you want to use your triangles, you can. If you want to use your table or your fan, I don't mind. So where can I draw this here? 60, 30, 1, 2, root 3. So sine of 60 is y over r. So y over r is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's root 3 over 2 divided by, and now we've got this cos 60. Cos 60 is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is a half. That 2 will cancel with that 2, and we're left with root 3 multiplied by 2 over 1, which gives us 2 root 3. Okay. Grade 11s, I would like you to do exercise 7.5, number 2, E, F, G, H, and number 3 for me, please. Thank you.